It's a powerful truth that what someone truly wants often hides just below the surface, expressed not through spoken words, but through a silent kind of language. In the complex world of human relationships, this hidden language becomes even more meaningful. Today, we are going to uncover the subtle yet clear signals that show when a woman secretly desires a closer connection with you. These are not random moments. They come from the quiet place of psychology, behavior, and real emotional energy. We will look at 7 important signs that suggest she wants more than just friendship. The first sign is when her eyes stay on yours for just a moment longer than necessary. We've all heard that the eyes are windows to the soul, and when it comes to attraction, they are the first to reveal what is hidden inside. A simple quick glance is normal and polite, but when her eyes return to yours again and again, when they pause just for a second, or when they quickly move down to your lips before returning to meet your eyes, this is a strong subconscious sign of interest. It is her inner self speaking while her words stay silent. The eyes have a way of telling stories, often showing feelings that the mouth has not yet put into words. The second sign appears when she looks for chances to touch you in small, non-verbal ways. Physical touch is one of the most basic human needs, and it is one of the most direct ways we share closeness and care. When a woman feels drawn to you, she will naturally find little ways to cross that physical space between you. It might be a soft touch on your arm when she laughs at something you said, or her hand brushing against yours while walking, or even a moment when she gently removes a piece of dust from your shirt. Studies have shown that when these small, seemingly accidental touches keep happening, they often reveal a stronger wish for connection. It's her way of testing comfort and building a quiet sense of closeness without saying much at all. The third sign is seen in how open her body language becomes when you are near. The body rarely lies. It shows what we truly feel even before we speak. When a woman feels safe and interested around you, her posture will open up without her even noticing. She may sit facing you completely, shoulders relaxed, legs pointed your way, without the closed-off signs like crossed arms or turning slightly away. She might move her hair to the side, showing her neck, or lean in a little as you talk, as if every word matters. This kind of posture is like a silent invitation. It is the opposite of being guarded or closed off. Her body is saying, "I feel comfortable here, and I want to be closer." The fourth signal comes in the way her voice changes when she speaks to you. Pay attention to how she sounds when talking to you compared to others. People's voices often change when they are speaking with someone they feel something for. Her tone may become softer, warmer, maybe a little playful. There might be more teasing, more light joking, or small private jokes that only the two of you share. This is not just casual talk. It is her way of building a little world just for the two of you. Her voice carries a note of warmth and closeness that she doesn't give to everyone. Playful teasing in this way isn't unkind, it's a gentle form of flirting, a way to create a special connection. The fifth sign is when her compliments go deeper than surface-level remarks. Anyone can say, "You look good today," and it's nice to hear. But when she praises things like your inner strength, the way you handle challenges, the sound of your laugh, or even the way you smell, these are not ordinary compliments. They show that she is paying real attention, seeing qualities in you that go beyond the surface. This kind of admiration is personal. It takes a bit of courage because it reveals her true feelings while showing respect for who you are at your core. It's her way of saying she sees you, not just what everyone else sees on the outside. The sixth sign is when she tries to create moments with just the two of you. Real closeness often grows in quiet, private spaces where people can be themselves. If she keeps looking for chances to talk to you alone, like pulling you aside at a party, suggesting a walk, or sending you private messages to continue a conversation you started in a group, it shows she wants more than public small talk. This isn't about hiding anything. It's about wanting a deeper, more meaningful connection without the noise of the crowd. It's her way of making a little world for just you and her, where real feelings and honest words can come out naturally. Finally, the seventh sign shows up in the form of nervous but excited energy around you. When someone feels real attraction, their body reacts with small changes they often can't control. She might blush when you compliment her, play with her hands or a piece of jewelry when you sit close, or laugh a little louder than usual when you joke. This isn't fear or discomfort. It's the rush of feeling alive, the thrill of being near someone who makes her heart beat faster. That mix of shyness and excitement is one of the clearest signs of attraction, because it is so hard to fake. It shows she feels something strong and is trying to manage it while it naturally shows on the outside. It's important to remember that no single sign by itself means everything. The real picture comes when you notice several of these signals happening again and again over time. They are like small pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, reveal the full image of growing desire. They tell the story of a connection building quietly, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. But this understanding comes with a responsibility. A wise man does not use these signals to manipulate or push someone's boundaries. Real strength comes from noticing these quiet invitations and responding with kindness, patience, and respect. True connection is built when both people feel seen, safe, and valued. The deepest bonds grow not from pressure or rushing, but from two people slowly meeting each other in honesty and care. That's why recognizing these signs should never be about taking advantage. It should be about building something real, built on trust and mutual desire. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this silent language of attraction. If this message helped you see things more clearly, share it with someone who might find it useful too. Leave your thoughts below and subscribe for more insights into relationships and human nature. Your support helps bring this kind of knowledge to more people, so that more connections can be built on real understanding and respect. When you begin to notice these signals, it's easy to feel excited, even a little nervous yourself, because human attraction has a way of waking something deep inside us. But the real test of character is how you handle it. Many men make the mistake of rushing in the moment they sense interest, forgetting that real connection is not about speed, but about depth. A woman who shows these signs is revealing something vulnerable, a part of herself that she doesn't show to everyone. That vulnerability deserves to be met with respect and patience rather than pressure. You see, attraction is not just about physical closeness. It's about emotional safety, about trust slowly building with every shared glance, every private conversation, every moment of laughter that belongs only to the two of you. When she feels safe, she opens up more, and those signs grow stronger, clearer, and more frequent. But when she senses impatience or feels rushed, she might pull back, not because she's no longer interested, but because trust takes time and pressure kills the beauty of what was slowly forming. That's why the most confident men are often the most patient ones. They read the signals. They feel the growing energy, but they allow things to unfold naturally. They don't try to control or demand. They simply stay present, keep the conversations alive, share moments of humor, kindness, and deep listening. This patience creates a space where attraction doesn't just spark but begins to glow steadily, like a fire that lasts through the night rather than a match that burns out in seconds. Another thing to understand is that women often express attraction in layers. At first, it might just be the eyes lingering or a slightly softer voice. Later, the compliments come, the private moments appear, and finally, the nervous excitement shows up when the feelings have grown too big to hide. If you pay attention, you will notice how each layer builds on the previous one, like steps leading somewhere meaningful. That's why one small signal doesn't mean much by itself, but a pattern of signals tells a much deeper story. And here's something many men don't realize: attraction, shown through these subtle signs, often means she wants you to notice, but she doesn't want you to assume. There is a big difference between paying attention and jumping to conclusions. The best response is always calm interest, not overconfidence. When she compliments you in a deeper way, smile and thank her, maybe give a gentle compliment back. But don't turn it into a moment of arrogance. When she finds reasons to talk privately, enjoy the moment. Share something meaningful, but don't make her feel cornered. When she blushes or shows that mix of shyness and excitement, treat it as the sweet, human moment it is, rather than something to take advantage of. Because here is the truth: women remember how you made them feel when they were vulnerable. If you make her feel safe, respected, and appreciated when she shows interest in you, that memory stays. It deepens her attraction because it proves you are not just paying attention to signals. You are paying attention to her as a person. This is where emotional intelligence becomes your strongest tool. It's not about tricks or games. It's about reading emotions, respecting timing, and responding in a way that makes her feel understood. A man with emotional intelligence knows when to lean in and when to give space. He knows how to enjoy the excitement without losing patience. He can create moments that feel natural rather than forced. For example, if she keeps looking at you across the room and smiling, instead of rushing over instantly, you might smile back, hold her gaze for a moment, then continue what you were doing. That small act shows confidence. Later, when the chance naturally comes to talk, you engage warmly, as if the moment found you both rather than you chasing it. These small things build mystery and respect at the same time. The same applies when she seeks private conversations. Maybe she pulls you aside during a party. Instead of making it heavy or overly serious, you keep the talk light, fun, maybe even a little playful, but with real attention to what she says. She will feel the difference between a man who listens to respond and a man who listens to understand. That difference is what makes her want to share more. Over time, these moments form a rhythm. Attraction grows, trust deepens, and what started as a few subtle signs turns into a bond built on both emotion and respect. That is how real relationships begin. Not with pressure or rushing, but with two people slowly discovering each other through signals, conversations, and shared energy that becomes impossible to ignore. And remember, sometimes the strongest sign of all is not just in what she shows, but in what she allows herself to feel when she is with you. If she laughs more, relaxes more, opens up about her dreams, or shares little details about her day that she doesn't share with everyone, those are signs of growing comfort. They mean you've moved from being someone she notices to someone she trusts. So, as you learn to read these signals, never forget the bigger picture. Attraction is a dance, not a race. It's two people slowly stepping toward each other, sometimes with certainty, sometimes with hesitation, but always with the possibility of something real. Your role is not to control the dance, but to move with it, to create a space where both of you can feel safe enough to let things unfold naturally. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful relationships are not built on tricks, pressure, or speed. They are built on mutual respect, patience, and the quiet moments where both people feel seen, understood, and valued for who they truly are. The beauty of this whole process is that it doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. Most real connections grow in quiet ways. A look across the room, a laugh that lingers longer than expected, a conversation where both of you lose track of time. It's these simple moments that mean the most because they're real. They're not about trying to impress or win someone over. They're about two people slowly realizing there's something different happening between them. And here's something worth remembering: attraction is exciting, but it's also fragile in the beginning. The way you handle those early signs can either help it grow or make it disappear. If you push too fast, you might break the natural rhythm. If you act distant or careless, she may feel like her efforts are not seen or valued. That's why balance is everything. Respond warmly when she shows interest, but don't smother it. Give her space to express herself without feeling like she has to explain or defend what she feels. When a woman shows these signals, she's often hoping you will notice, but she doesn't want to feel judged for it. That's why men who stay calm, confident, and kind stand out so much. They don't make her feel embarrassed for liking them. They don't joke about her blushing or call attention to her nervousness in front of others. Instead, they make her feel comfortable, like she can be herself without worrying about being teased or misunderstood. That kind of safety is rare and unforgettable. Another thing that deepens the connection is your ability to create shared moments that feel special without forcing them. For example, if she compliments something personal about you, instead of just saying thanks and moving on, you can smile, look at her, and share a small story about it. Something simple, maybe even funny, that lets her into your world a little more. These moments turn simple conversations into memories. They make her feel like she's not just talking to you, but discovering you. And the more she feels she's discovering something real about you, the more invested she becomes. That's when the private conversations get longer. That's when she starts sharing things she doesn't share with others. Her dreams, her fears, her silly thoughts. Those come out only when she feels safe. When she feels you're not going to use her openness against her or dismiss it. What many men miss is that attraction isn't just about the excitement at the start. It's about what happens after. When she sees that you notice the little things, when you remember details she mentioned days ago, when you listen without trying to turn everything into a joke, that's when her trust deepens. That's when the signals stop being subtle, because she no longer has to hide how she feels. But here's the secret. The reason she starts to trust you more is not just because of what you say. It's because of how you make her feel. If she feels calm around you, if she laughs more with you, if she feels like time disappears when you talk, that's when everything changes. People rarely remember every word we say, but they always remember how they felt when they were with us. So, when you see the nervous smile, the longer eye contact, the playful teasing, the private invitations, the compliments that go deeper than the surface, understand that these are her ways of testing the waters. She wants to know if you will meet her energy with kindness, if you will respect the pace at which she wants to move. If you do, she will keep showing more signs. She will keep letting you in, layer by layer, until what started as small hints becomes a connection that neither of you can ignore. And let's be honest, there's something beautiful about that slow build. In a world where everything moves too fast, where messages are instant, attention spans are short, and people rush into things without thinking, there's something rare about letting attraction breathe, about letting it grow naturally instead of forcing it. That's what makes it powerful. Because when you finally reach that moment where both of you know, where words are no longer needed, it will feel real. It will feel earned. Not because you chased it recklessly, but because you allowed it to find its own timing. That's what makes the connection last. The truth is, the men who stand out are not always the best looking or the richest or the most charming in the room. They are the ones who understand the rhythm of attraction. They can feel when to move closer and when to give space. They know how to listen, how to laugh, how to let things unfold naturally without needing to control every step. Women notice that. They feel it. It makes them relax because they sense you're not desperate, you're not playing games, and you're not afraid of silence or patience. You're just there, steady, confident, and real. That presence is rare, it's magnetic, and it's what makes the connection not only start, but also grow into something deeper. So when you see these signs, treat them like a gift. Don't take them for granted, don't rush to label them, and don't use them carelessly. Let them guide you toward a connection built on mutual respect, real emotion, and the kind of trust that lasts long after the first spark fades. Because at the end of the day, what she really wants is not someone who just notices her signals. She wants someone who sees her. All of her. Her excitement, her nervousness, her laughter, her dreams. Someone who understands that behind every sign is a person hoping to be valued, not just desired. The most powerful thing you can give someone in those early stages isn't flowers, gifts, or perfect words. It's presence. Real, grounded presence. When she talks, you actually listen, not just to reply, but to understand. When she laughs, you notice what made her laugh, and you share that moment instead of moving on too quickly. When she falls silent for a second, you don't rush to fill the space because you're comfortable enough to let the moment breathe. That calm energy is rare in a world that's always loud, always rushing, always trying to impress. Presence tells her something that words can't. It says, I'm here with you. I'm not distracted. I'm not pretending to listen while thinking about something else. Right now, this moment matters. And when a woman feels that kind of focus from you, it leaves a deeper impact than any line you could ever say. Because real presence makes her feel like she's the only person in the room, even if the room is full. But here's what most people don't realize: the way you handle the small, simple moments often matters more than the big gestures. Anyone can buy gifts or say romantic words, but not everyone can give the gift of genuine attention. When she shares a story about her day, and you remember the details later, it tells her you actually care. When she mentions a dream she has, and you ask about it weeks later, it shows you are listening even when there was no reason to impress her. That's when she feels safe opening up more, because she knows you actually see her, not just the idea of her. And this is where the signs of attraction grow stronger. Because when she feels heard, when she feels understood, she naturally gives more signals without even realizing it. She leans in closer. She shares things she doesn't tell others. Her laughter comes easier, her eyes stay on you longer, her words carry more warmth. It's not something you can fake or rush. It's something that grows because of how you make her feel over time. Sometimes men ask, how do I know for sure if she likes me? And the truth is, there's rarely one single sign that gives you a yes or no answer. It's the pattern that matters. It's the way she keeps choosing to be near you, keeps finding ways to talk to you, keeps sharing parts of her world with you. It's the consistency of her signals over days and weeks, not just one moment, that tells the real story. But even then, the goal isn't to collect signals like trophies. The goal is to build trust. Because attraction without trust is like fire without oxygen. It might spark, but it won't last. Trust comes from how you handle the moments when she's unsure, when she's shy, when she's testing the waters. If you meet those moments with patience and kindness, instead of ego or pressure, she feels safe. And safety is what allows attraction to turn into something real. Think about it. How many connections start fast and burn out just as quickly? That happens when people mistake excitement for depth. They rush into the feeling without building the foundation. But when you take your time, when you respect the pace at which someone else wants to move, you create something that doesn't collapse the first time things get hard. And here's something very few people talk about: real attraction isn't just about how she feels around you. It's also about how she feels about herself when she's with you. If you make her feel judged, insecure, or like she has to compete for your attention, she might still feel the spark, but it won't last. But if she feels valued, respected, and appreciated for who she truly is, that's when the connection deepens beyond the surface. This is why the most attractive men are not the ones trying to prove themselves all the time. They don't need to talk over everyone, brag about what they have, or constantly seek approval. They create space for the other person to feel comfortable, to relax, to be real. And women notice that instantly. Because at the heart of it, attraction isn't about saying the perfect thing. It's about creating the right feeling. A feeling of safety mixed with excitement. Comfort mixed with curiosity. It's when she feels calm enough to be herself, but still thrilled enough to want to see you again. That balance is what keeps her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. And the more you respect that balance, the more she naturally opens up. What started as shy glances turns into long talks. What began with small touches turns into real closeness. What was once playful teasing turns into trust, into shared secrets, into a connection that feels like it was always meant to happen. That's the real power of noticing the signs and responding with emotional intelligence. Not to rush, not to control, but to allow something meaningful to grow at its own pace. Because the connections that last are never the ones forced by pressure. They're the ones that feel effortless, where both people look back one day and realize, this didn't just happen overnight. It built slowly, quietly, beautifully. And that's where so many people go wrong. They think attraction is built by trying harder, saying the right things, showing off, proving their worth. But the truth is, the strongest connections come when you stop performing and start being real. When you don't try to be perfect, but instead let someone feel safe enough to be imperfect with you. Because real closeness isn't built through a highlight reel. It's built when someone trusts you enough to show you the unpolished parts of themselves and feels accepted anyway. You see this when a woman starts telling you about her bad day, not just the good ones. When she shares her fears or talks about something that hurt her in the past. That's not small talk. That's trust being handed to you carefully, piece by piece. And what you do with that trust determines everything that happens next. If you listen, if you don't make her feel like she's too much, if you hold that space without rushing to fix or judge, she feels something rare. She feels understood. And when a woman feels understood, when she feels heard in a world that constantly talks over her, she starts associating you with comfort, with safety, with home. That feeling is stronger than any words you could ever say. But here's what's powerful. This works both ways. Because as she opens up, you get to show parts of yourself too. Not the fake confidence or the smooth lines, but the real stuff. The things you care about. The things you've been through. The dreams you have for the future. That's when two people stop performing and start connecting. And that's when you see the real signs of attraction. Not just flirting or teasing, but emotional presence, real closeness, real investment. Because attraction isn't just about chemistry. Chemistry can spark with anyone. Real attraction, the kind that lasts, is built on trust, respect, and the feeling that you bring out the best in each other. That's why some connections fade, even when the passion was strong at first. Passion without emotional safety burns bright and dies fast. But passion built on trust, on kindness, on the freedom to be real. That's the kind that lasts through storms. And here's something no one tells you: the real test.